Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. This one will be another event idea. So like I said, I am going to try and do these on the weekly. I've got a bunch stockpiled, a few major events. I'm trying to think exactly how many major events I've got stored up. I have 2 more at least, and 1 more that's kind of in the works. I think it needs a lot of work still. But the kind of third one I'm talking about, I don't want to spoil it, but the other one that's in the works is like an update that we're not familiar with, in the fact that it's not a 4-act structure update as such. It is in a bit, but it is sort of, but it's got like another kind of feature to it. And it's something I've been working on for a while, and I'm having to watch a load of episodes to really get details and stuff, and kind of, in a way, research. So in the meantime, I'll be releasing these smaller events, these mini events. I love these mini events. They're so easy to make, and I have a lot of fun with them. I have a lot of freedom. It doesn't feel as hard to make. The bigger ones I do enjoy as well, but you run out of themes eventually, and sometimes like I recycle old themes. And one of the ones that's coming up is kind of a recycled old theme, but it's an event idea that's not on my channel anymore. This one is a 22 short films about Springfield event idea, otherwise known as the Steamed Hams update. Now, the reason why I call it the Steamed Hams update is, of course, the popular kind of internet meme that happened due to this small clip of The Simpsons. Obviously, this became really popular last year. I think maybe before that, I'm not sure. I think it was last year, but it obviously it was released years ago, but it became really popular because of this whole Steamed Hams segment between Skinner and Chalmers. So in light of that, I decided the update would be best if it was centered around this skit, but also include everything, or well, include things from the episode 22 short films about Springfield. And it definitely is one of my favorite episodes. It's up there. It's a really great episode. It's really funny. The parody, the Pulp Fiction parodies and things like that. It's hilarious. So it's one of my favorite episodes. So I figured it makes sense to do an event. So the startup, Chalmers tells Skinner that he is finally retiring after all these years, and Skinner is in line for taking his place. Skinner is thrilled about the promotion and invites Chalmers around for another unforgettable luncheon. Make Skinner buy Krusty Burgers, make Chalmers prepare for steamed hams. So obviously you'll have to have Superintendent Chalmers unlocked. I know it's a fairly high level to unlock him. I forget exactly which level it is, but obviously sometimes it's lower events. Sometimes events are like lower levels. I guess this one's kind of high, so really new players won't be able to play this event, but I think it has to be a Chalmers-led event, and this entire event is a Chalmers-led event, and I just think it fits perfectly. Could be a Skinner-led event, sure. I just think it fits better for Chalmers. Anyway, so Chalmers praises Skinner for the quality of his steamed hams, and Skinner thanks him for the praise. Chalmers leaves and meets Bart. He tells Chalmers that the hams are from Krusty Burger, and he is angry. Make Chalmers investigate steamed hams. Make Bart fool Skinner's promotion. And this will, of course, unlock the event. The event currency, what else could it be? It has to be steamed hams. So that is the event currency. Anyway, there is going to be 2 things in the store. Normally, obviously, there's only 1 building character combo in the store. I wanted both of these things and both these characters. I think both of them are, in their own right, characters that deserve to be added in the game. Senora Bumblebee Man with Bumblebee Man's house for 150 donuts. So this is obviously Bumblebee Man's house. It will just be a bit like Alex Glick. So his car will be in the drive. You don't get his car separately, but his car's in the drive. And yeah, the house, big and nice, reasonable size, so it fits in with the other houses in the neighborhood. And yeah, we get a character which is Senora Bumblebee Man. I believe her name is also Emma, but one wiki lists her as Senora Bumblebee Man, the other wiki lists her as Emma. Whenever that happens, I kind of feel like the name was found in some kind of weird source. I'm not sure exactly where the name was found, what source says her name's Emma. So I don't know. But I think Senora Bumblebee Man is honestly just hilarious. It's just a funny name. So, I don't know, I kind of would prefer it to just be called that, but whatever, she could be called Emma. It's not a big concern. She's appeared a lot in the background. Obviously, this was her first episode, 22 short films about Springfield. And then after that, she just kind of appears in the background. So I definitely think she is a big enough character to add and should be pretty cool in this update. The second building character combo is, of course, Snippy Long Stockings with Jake the Barber. Now, of course, Jake he is an old character in the fact that he appeared in one of the Springfield Tracy Ullman shorts. And then after that, he's made a few appearances. Obviously, one of his appearances is 22 short films about Springfield. In the latter years, he's not as regular as a character, but regardless, I think he deserves to be added in this event. Now, Snippy Longstockings is considered to be a Jake's unisex unisex hair palace, whatever it's called, a barber palace, whatever the heck it's called. The building we already had in the game. This building is considered to be the same building, as in this was renovated and called Jake's unisex barber place, whatever it was, whatever it's called. I forget its name exactly. But the thing about renovated buildings, if they look completely different like this does compared to Jake's, I honestly would just rather them add them as a building than a skin, a separate building. There's a similar one, for example, Moe's when he renovates it and it's called M. If they were to ever add that, I'd want them to add it as a building just because it's so drastically different to the original Moe's that it makes more sense to add it as a building, because you could argue it was renovated, so like completely, like the whole thing was, walls were taken down, so it's kind of its own building and it's in its own respect. So I don't know. That's kind of my argument. I was just trying to argue to why this should be a separate building. But yeah, Snippy Longstockings with Jake the Barber. Anyway, here's the quest line. So Chalmers asks Snakes if he can do some investigation work for him, but Wiggum stops him, saying that Snake is going to jail. Chalmers tells Wiggum if he releases Snake, then he can make sure Ralph gets better grades. And then you could have some jokes about Wiggum allowing that to happen. So make Chalmers sweet talk Wiggum, make Wiggum consider the offer, and make Springfielders eat steamed hams. And this will unlock Little Bandit. So Little Bandit is, of course, Snake's car. It plays a reasonable role in the episode. Obviously, it's where the Pulp Fiction kind of parody comes from, when obviously Bruce Willis drives into Marcellus Wallace. Obviously, Snake driving into Wiggum. So it'd be kind of cool to add that. Plus, this car of Snake's has appeared so many times. It's a regular kind of occurrence, so it makes so much sense for them to add it into the game. Snakes brings Chalmers Skinner's steamer, and he is shocked and tells Snake that is not what he wanted. Snake says that he's a thief, not a PI, but thanks Chalmers for his freedom. And then obviously Wiggum chases after him, Pulp Fiction style, and you make Wiggum chase Snake, make Snake lie low, make Springfielders attempt to make their own steamed hams, and this will unlock donuts. No, not actual donuts, the store donuts. So in the 22 short films about Springfield, this store is in the background, this donut store. As you can see, it's kind of blurry. Wiggum's kind of like walking away from it as he's got his donuts. And this is the one from Marge versus the Monorail, this donuts here. I think they look fairly similar. I'm pretty sure they're meant to be the same store, in the sense that obviously the only difference is really, is the colours. I guess the position of the doors. There seems to be two doors here, and the donut sign is obviously hanging whilst this one is on top of this door. So I kind of would like it. The only reason I put this image in is to prove it's in the episode. Technically, sort of. I would say these are probably the same building, but I would rather them just add this version of the building. It looks a bit better in my opinion. It looks more fancier. Plus this one's kind of blurry, so I don't know how they would do it. But yeah, add this version of donuts. I think it makes sense. Anyway, Wiggum decides to relax to eat some donuts after stopping Snake. Lou reminds him that it was him and Eddie who took down Snake. Chalmers says that he still needs to find out if the hams are from the Krusty Burger or not. Wiggum says that he'll file a report or something like that. Chalmers asks Jake if he knows someone who has detective skills. He tells Chalmers that he had an unusual customer once. He has a great sense of smell. Make Chalmers look for a PI. Make Springfielders look for steamed hams. This will unlock Lovejoy's sheepdog. So of course Lovejoy's sheepdog is sort of already in the game, in the fact that obviously Lovejoy has a task to walk his sheepdog, and then he appears there. What I'm suggesting here is they add the sheepdog into the game, and so when Lovejoy does that task, the sheepdog is an NPC, of course. He's a non-playable character. The sheepdog won't have any tasks. But when Lovejoy does that task, of course, the sheepdog will go to Lovejoy and he'll just do the same animation. but the sheepdog will obviously be involved, and maybe you can earn extra XP or extra cash for that. For players who don't unlock the sheepdog, or say they miss this event, they'll still be able to do that task. I'm not saying that they won't be able to do that task, it just means they won't have the sheepdog walking around as an NPC. They'll only be able to see the sheepdog when they do the task. Just like other character, I don't know if that's actually a thing, but I think there's things with Maggie, where if you don't have Maggie, she'll still appear in Marge's tasks, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm suggesting anyway. Moving back to the quest line, Lovejoy tells Snake that this sheepdog is no good at detective work. Jake says that it must have been another customer. Chalmers asks Jake if he knows anyone who can help find out if Skinner is stealing from the Krusty Burger. Jake says that he knows a woman who knows a guy who can help him find out. Chalmers is directed to Senora Bumblebee Man, who speaks Spanish to Chalmers. Make Chalmers follow Senor Bumblebee Man. Make Springfielders compare. What's that saying? Oh wait, that meant to say buy Krusty Burgers. Make Springfielders buy Krusty Burgers. And this will unlock the very tall man's car, which is this kind of little beetle here. Also, with Senor Bumblebee Man, I probably should have said when I went to it in the store, I want her entire quest line to be in Spanish, because in the episode they obviously do the entire Bumblebee Man segment in Spanish without subtitles or anything, and it's actually quite special. It's kind of ballsy to do that. I know that I'm kind of taking that quote, I guess, or that argument from the Real Jims, I think it's called, the dude who does the Simpsons explanations. But yeah, I think it's quite ballsy to do that. So I don't know. I think it makes sense to do it in Spanish because it kind of relates to the episode. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Finally, Chalmers meets the very tall man and tells him he needs to find out if Skinner is buying Krusty Burgers and posing at them as steamed hams. He confronts Skinner. This is the very tall man. But the very tall man confronts Skinner, who tells him that it's a genuine family recipe. Agnes backs him up, and Chalmers concludes Bart was lying. So you make Chalmers rest easy, or something like that. Make Skinner fight Mother, and then make Springfielders compare Krusty Burgers to steamed hams. And this will unlock the very tall man. So, do you find something comical? ? So yeah, really funny character. I find him kind of odd. He's a kind of an oddball character, if you will. Perfect candidate for the oddballs category. I'd actually agree on this one. Although, I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other categories he could go into. I'm pretty sure oddballs would be the only other one, unless you went to the bullies or the kind of toughies category, because it kind of bullies Nelson at the end of the episode. And then finally, the epilogue is Chalmers tells Skinner that all this investigating has made him not want to retire after all, but he wouldn't mind a steamed ham. And maybe there could be one final task of make Chalmers have some steamed hams again. So yeah, that is the event I'm proposing. Kind of a bit loose, I know. The only reason, obviously, the nature of the episode is it's multiple different, it's 22 short films. It's 22 different stories. It's a bunch of different segments, so it was kind of hard to tie them all together with the whole steamed hams thing. I hope this kind of makes sense. I've tied in both Senora Bumblebee Man and Jake the Barber, so they make sense themselves, and also obviously the very tall man. I'm sure there's a better idea out there. This is just what I came up with. So yeah, but yeah, any other suggestions for like a quest line, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, moving on. So we have some tasks. I also did some unlock screens. Obviously, you could see this one. I'm probably going to start doing a few of these. I can't promise I'll do them for every single event idea. I just was, I don't know. I was getting kind of creative, so I ended up making some for this event. Anyway, so I can't read Spanish. I'm awful at pronunciation, so I'll just tell you what they say in English. But again, I think all of her tasks should be in Spanish. It's kind of funny. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of special because they did, like I said, they did the segment in Spanish, and this character, it was her kind of debut. So I think it'd be kind of funny if they did her tasks in Spanish. So this is deliver a divorce for 60 minutes. This will be an animation, her handing the divorce papers like she did to Bumblebee Man in the episode. This is do some housework for 4 hours. Also, if any Spanish speakers out there and they look at this and it's wrong, I literally did just type this in Google Translate, so if the Spanish is wrong, I apologize. Blame Google Translate, not me. So yeah, do housework. And then we got get a haircut. We'll get a new haircut for 6 hours. This will be at Jake's Snippies thingy. This is feed the dog for 8 hours. This will be at the Bumblebee Man's house Find a new husband for 12 hours. This will be her with her packed bags, moving around Springfield as she does in the episode. And then the last one is help with the Bumblebee Man show, and that is for 24 hours. And that is not meant to be an animation. I accidentally put an A there, but that will be at the Channel 6 studios, of course. Then we have Jake the Barber, sweep up hair for 60 minutes. This will be an animation just outside of the Jake's unisex hair palace. I think makes more sense for him to kind of mainly center around that building instead of Jake's hair snippy thingy, or the snippy long stockings building. So yeah, it'll be him just outside the store sweeping some hair. Work at Jake's for 4 hours, work at Snippy's for 6 hours, look up new hairstyles for 8 hours. That could be at either store, really, whichever one he's closest to, I guess. Fix Lisa's hair for 12 hours, animation. So someone suggested when I did my events I want, or I think actually what you can expect from Tapped Out when I did that video, someone suggested, when I kind of proposed to 22 short films, someone suggested like a costume for Lisa with all of that stuff in her hair. So obviously she has the gum and the mayonnaise and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it should be a costume, but it could be an interesting, and I was trying to like fit in an animation as a prize for Lisa, but I know I hate animations, but I was originally going to put that as an animation, because I think it makes more sense for it to be an animation than a costume. But then I figured, why not just have it so and I know it's a premium character and all, so it's kind of annoying, but why not just have it as a Jake animation? Because that makes sense. So basically, Lisa will have all that stuff in her hair. She'll be sat on a little outside Snippy's or outside Jake's. She'll be sat on a little barber chair with her hair all in a mess, and then Jake kind of like does some things with his scissors and all that, and then he steps in front of her and he steps back, and then she has all the kind of the new hair that she gets in the episode. And then finally his final task is renovate Snippy's. And then we have the very tall man, drive car for 60 minutes, animation. Of course, that will be this here. It will be him inside of his car. The car won't actually move, it will just be him inside of it, kind of squished inside. Got stuck in doorways for 4 hours. This will just be at the Brown House or the Town Hall or some random building like that. Get fitted for new clothing for 8 hours. This will be an animation. It will look like this, like he does when he's in Majesty. I think it's called Majesty or something. He's in a store anyway in one of the episodes later on, and he's getting fitted for new clothing. So these dudes will spawn, and he'll be getting fitted. Bully Nelson for 12 hours. That's another animation. I know 3 animations is a bit crazy, but I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. Plus, you're getting less tasks with a free character anyway. So it'll be him kind of picking up Nelson like he does in the episode. Not the whole underwear thing. I think that's a bit weird, but him just picking up Nelson is all. And then browse web for clothing for 24 hours. That will just be in the Brown House, I guess. So yeah, that is my 22 short films about Springfield update idea, aka the Steamed Hams event. I don't know, tell me your guys' thoughts. I think it works as an event. It's a little loose, but again, that's partly the nature of the episode, so you can't really have a really strong theme, but I think the episode is a strong enough theme to kind of hold this event. And yeah, I honestly, after making this, I want this to come true. My entire vision. I want this all to happen how I've kind of said it. Maybe the quest line could obviously get improved, but like in terms of the prizes and the premium stuff, this would be a great event if that happened. I don't know, I just love the idea of doing this kind of event and making and theming it around the whole Steamed Hams meme. So yeah, that's my opinion. Tell me your thoughts about this event. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What improvements do you think could be done? Any characters you think should be added? And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.